I don't know, the last 50 years, last 20 years, it's the stabilization of orthodoxy.
Stabilization.
Yeah, where they
That's a big
keep,
word.
well, Rabbi Wein uses, where they keep
Yeah.
making smaller and smaller minyanim, so that you can have, you can pray just with your little group,
Right.
rather than supporting some big communal structured synagogue.
Right.
And so the
Well, hey, I want to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Can I digress?
Please.
All right. So, like, immediately thought is, like, what's, like, the big shul in town? Like, it's
Beth Jacob.
Beth Jacob has, like, how many members?
1,000, 1,500.
Okay, because if you're not a member of Beth Jacob, what's going to end up happening is, well, let me tell you a story what happened this last Shabbos. Okay, so this last Shabbos, and wait, can I bring out one of the audience members again for this?
Of course.
Okay, so hey, come on, this time, Yaakov Kleidman, once again, Yaakov Kleidman's going to come out here. Are you ready for that? Can you talk about him? Come on, hurry up! Come on, we don't have all night. We're going to lose ratings here. Come on, let him have a say. So once again, once again, Levi. Let's give a round of applause for Levi Ford. Okay, so Yaakov, you're back here now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm telling the story what happened Shabbos.
Yep.
So basically, hang with me, fill in the cracks, right?
Oh, I'll fill in the cracks, yeah.
Okay, so basically, we took a walk on Shabbos, did we not?
Absolutely.
And how far did we walk?
5 miles.
We walked 5 miles. So we went out like 2.5 miles out, right?
Yep.
And then we started coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're like you're 2.5 mile one way, 2.5 mile the other, right?
Absolutely.
So right about when we turned around to turn around to come back, what about happened around that time?
It was a little bit of a... It was a little bit of a Luke situation going on.
It was a Luke situation. Now, why was it a Luke situation?
Well...
Why would you bring up the name Luke right now?
Well, there's a really famous Luke story that I'd love to
Okay,
share.
so let's share this Luke story.
Well, one time Luke was walking around Pico Robertson, and all he had was a Ralph's bag. And I'm sure the audience members remember what this is all about.
It was on Yom Kippur.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't really Yom Kippur. This was only Shabbos, but it was a combination of two things. It was Rabs had a little bit of a Luke situation going on,
Basically,
and he had to go.
I had to go. I had to take a crap. Is what happened. I walked for about 2.5 miles, and I realized I had to take a crap. So
Loosened everything up.
Because
Did you have a Ralph's bag with you?
No, I didn't have a Ralph's bag with me, and then
But I said we should start looking for one.
For a Ralph's bag, and I
Yeah.
said no. I'm gonna not a problem. I'll just hold it in.
He'll make it home.
I'll make it home. I'll make it home. Right? But like he's going like you're gonna do a Luke. I can
Yeah.
tell you're not gonna make it
Not gonna make it.
because it's 2.5
You
miles.
can see the look on your face.
So we have to
It was
start.
not pleasant.
We had to start thinking about alternative things, and I was really like, what I could see what Luke was going through because we're like walking through residential home streets. Like, you can't just knock on someone's door and go, hey, "Can I?" Total strangers going to take a crap in your house, So that's one problem. You like, where can you go? You can't go in a restaurant or something that's open on Shabbos.
Did Jacob give you his hat?
So we're starting to think like we may have to walk to Ralph's and steal a bag. Like, what are we going to do? So then Yaakov came up with a great idea. What was your great idea?
There's two great things that shuls are good for. Taking a dump and the free food.
No, you're supposed to say free food.
And then taking a dump.
That's how you do it.
Whatever.
You set it up and then the punchline.
All right.
A shul is good for free food and taking a dump. So this is what happens. If you're not a member of Beth Jacob, then you're gonna end up paying the price. Because here's the story: either you're going to become a member of it and pay the dues and be part of the biggest shul in town, or you're going to end up in an embarrassing situation where it's either let me in and let me use your bathroom, or
I'm going to Ralph's.
or it's going to end up on your floor. So I had to basically go use the Beth Jacob bathroom. So I had to show myself and just go
Was that
down.
the first time you'd been in there?
That was the first time I've been in Beth Jacob. So basically, to me, Beth Jacob is just a place you go to when you're dying.
Well, Beth Jacob is a place you go to when you're dying. It's like an auto.
All right, a big round of applause. Thank you for that story, Jacob.
I was just thinking about that as we were walking, and he was holding it. I was like, "We got to tell this on the show."
Luke has to hear
They don't call it Death Jacob for nothing. I mean, that's the place where people go to die.
Yeah, well, that's the place you go to, because when you walk out in that direction, it's like the first shul coming back. When you're coming back to Pico Robertson, that is like the first shul.
I don't know why I remind you of things, matters like that. Like,
No, your name came up. Because
I don't
because
know
you were
why.
Like, you're going to have to do a Luke in a second.
I thought my name would come up for some great, Torah insight, but no.
You're forever engraved together with the Ralph's bag.
So separating oneself from the larger community, making smaller and smaller venues of prayer, accommodating God's service to one's particular taste, convenience, and desires, is in the long run destructive to both the individual and the community, because it takes a village to build a bathroom.
Correct.
The rabbis taught us the principle that in the multitude of the people gathering for prayer lies the honor of the king and bathrooms.
Virav Hadrich Melech.
Exactly.
Hadrich Melech.
The increasing tendency of the stabilization of the Orthodox world costs our cause dearly. After the destruction of the temple, the synagogue became the miniature temple of Israel in all the lands of our dispersion. The miniature temple is not seen and treated as a mishkan, so a holy temple, a place of beauty and awe, and a place of large gathering, not a place for free food and taking dumps. Then we are missing something very special in our communal lives. I remember I was going to this rather small Stiebel Minion, and there was I only knew of the one bathroom that was downstairs, like right next door to the Minion. And I felt embarrassed to go in there because, what if I made a loud noise? It was right next to the Minion.
Oh.
And it's that's not a pleasant situation. So support a shul where you can have large bathrooms that are walled off from the davening.
Or like at Beth Jacob, where you have to go through the catacombs underneath it.
Right.
You had to go down several layers of stairs and hallways that I didn't know where they led past, and I passed all these people on the way down there.
Well, I'm just glad you didn't go to the whorehouse next to Beth Jacob.
We actually passed by it after we left there.
Yeah, and
It was locked up.
Really?
Yeah, it's locked up. You can't go in.
Wow, the whorehouse is no more. I ended the whorehouse next to Beth Jacob.
Could that be?
Yeah, there was a big whorehouse next to Beth Jacob, and I wrote about it on my blog about a month ago, and now it's kaput.
Or they don't like doing business
Or
on
the-
Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Maybe all the customers are in shul.
Right.
Or a kiddish, yeah.
Or or going for 5-mile walks. So, do you have a favorite Village People song or persona?
Actually, it's odd that you bring that up because I don't know anything about the Village People, but happens to be in our audience tonight.
We have the cowboy and the construction worker.
He was a construction worker, and I was...
You were a cowboy
I was
or
a
an
sex
Indian?
slave.
Sex? Did they have a
The
sex
biker.
slave?
The biker.
Oh, biker.
Yeah. We dressed up, all 5 of us for Purim. We had the whole dance and everything.
Can you bring that out and show us?
Nah, I don't think we rehearsed it.
I don't remember it.
I'll show you the video.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Wikipedia says the Village People's most famous song is YMCA.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so
because they played at the ball game.
because young man,
Yeah.
there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, because you're in a new town, there's no need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there, and I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
All right, that was...
So, taken at face value, its lyrics extol the virtues of the Young Men's Christian Association.
Okay.
In gay culture, from which the Village People sprang, the song was implicitly understood as celebrating the YMCA's reputation as a popular cruising and hookup spot, particularly for the younger gay men to whom it was addressed. So what if a wholesome Torah institution like the Young Men's Christian Association became a cruising and hookup spot for young gay men? How would we react? What if the Mishkan, what if the Holy Temple became known as a gay cruising site? What would we do?
What if the Torah Talks chat room?
Yeah, it became a gay cruising site. What if people start coming to Torah Talks to meet other men to have carnal and unnatural relations with.